Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. This is one of those jobs that I just really hate to do. Now, most jobs are kind of fun, you know, you get to do something new and something different. But I really hate doing this. I've had this barn scraper for years, and I don't use it much because I don't have a big barn anymore. I got it because I was scraping the floor of a big old cow barn, and I needed to get this stuff off the ground. Well, it's sat around for, I don't know, 20 years now. And I would get it out occasionally if I had to chop out something, but usually it's not something that you use for anything other than scraping. So, when I took up the carpet in the other room on the other side of the basement, there's all this glue and stuff on the floor. I said, I have just the thing. Now I went out in the little shed and I got this out, which it's been neglected for a long time. It was up in the rafters. I didn't use it. I didn't throw it away when we moved here, but I didn't think I would need it because I don't have big concrete barn floors. But this is going to do a pretty good job on the glue, I think. At least I thought it would. I went out and got it, and then I realized that somebody else liked it really well too. Looks like the Chipmunks, who get into that little barn regularly, I have sealed it up. They chew through wood. Kind of evidenced here. But I chased them out, and Sadie chases them, and we try very hard to keep them away. Not successfully, obviously. But anyways, now I have a handle that's got splinters in it. Now I could probably just use it as it is because I wear a pair of gloves and it'd be okay. But it's not the way I do things. I gotta clean this up. So what am I gonna do? I could do it by hand. I suppose I could get a hand rasp out and clean it up, but I have this nice little power tool here. We're just going to hit it with that. Now because I'm going to be using a power sander, I'm going to wear a dust mask. Didn't used to think about it. I just do what I wanted to do and then cough and cough and cough and cough. Finally realized that after a number of years of exposure to sawdust, some wood just bothers me. Now oak is the worst. Oak's kind of acidic and it really clogs me up. But when I don't know, it's better to just put the dust mask on, not worry about it. Also, this has got who knows what on it after Chipmunk's been drooling all over it. Elaine sent me some sandpaper. She bought a couple of buttons for the Old Sneelock for President campaign, and being nice, she sent along some sandpaper that she got. Matter of fact, she got a whole lot of it. A huge box of all different kinds, mostly fine, but very, very nice sandpaper. It's cloth packed, so it's extremely durable. Made in Germany. Now, must be someplace around here where she gets it. And I'm going to use some of that and along with a sanding pad to clean this up before I put some more blow on it, because blow is what makes the wood work. I did notice that the chipmunks didn't bother anything that was hanging vertical. So this is going to get hung up vertically. Evidently they can't hang on to it while they're doing it. There, now no splinter worries. Now we'll take some of this sandpaper and we'll just smooth it up. Beautiful. Now I'll put an edge on this blade with the grinder. Well, this floor is painted, so I'm not really going to get after it too much. This is a nice job taking up the glue. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know I had that much glue on the floor. Well, perhaps after I get done in the other room, I need to come over here and do this whole floor. But I think I want to get the one job done first before I start on two more. Well, that did a really nice job. Thanks, Elaine. Sandpaper came in real handy. Now I'm going to put some blow on this handle. Let it dry for a little while I go get some lunch. And we may kid around here about using blow as a miracle drug and salad dressing and all kinds of things, but boiled linseed oil back in the old days was linseed oil that was boiled. Totally different animal than what it is today. Linseed oil now, especially what they call boiled linseed oil, is mixed up with a bunch of metallic additives. And I don't know that they're bad for you, but I don't know that they're good either. So, give me the option between maybe being alright and not being alright. I tend to go with the not being alright, just to make sure that I'm not causing any problems for myself or anybody else. So I always wear rubber gloves. And it doesn't hurt to steal it all. Seals it up. Especially something that's going to be out in the barn probably another 20 years. Doesn't hurt to have a little bit of protection on it to keep it from rusting. And one of the old Sneelock trademark things is using old socks. Tend to go through socks pretty fast. Especially since I'm retired and I walk around without any shoes on in the house most of the time with just socks. So that means that I wear out socks at a tremendous rate. And at first I just pitched them out. And then I thought, well, that's a resource that I could probably use for something. So I went looking for reasons to keep them and found out that they actually make pretty good rags. They're soft and absorbent and they hold whatever it is you're wiping up or rubbing on. And the thing that I've done is, this is the top of a sock. And it's been in the jar of boiled linseed oil now about 5 years with no detrimental effects. I don't know what it's made out of. I think probably nylon or some polyester, something like that. And the reason I put it into the jar, boiled linseed oil has a habit of oxidizing. That's how it hardens up. It absorbs oxygen out of the air. The more it's exposed to oxygen, the faster it absorbs the oxygen. So if you put it on a rag is kind of porous, got a lot of fiber in it, gives it a large surface area. Large surface areas mean it oxidizes quickly, and it really starts generating heat. If you have a pile of rags with boiled linseed oil on them, they'll actually spontaneously combust. But if you put them in a jar like that and seal the top, they don't have the flow of oxygen that they would laying on the floor or anywhere else. And I used to take my boiled linseed oil rags and hang them in the backyard on a fence and let them dry out and then throw them away in the garbage. Didn't want to chuck them in the garbage can and have them take off on their own. I found that if I keep just a little bit of a rag in the bottom of that boiled linseed oil jar, I can pick it out, put the boiled linseed oil on whatever I want, drop it back in, it goes below the surface of the boiled linseed oil, no oxidation. Works pretty good. And I always keep enough boiled linseed oil in there to cover the rag. So now, this has got a boiled linseed oil coating on it. It's been sanded up smooth, and I can go get my lunch. This has been another presentation of Old Sneelock's Workshop and Boiled Linseed Oil Emporium. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I rate them all. And Louis McNeely is the representative of Blow International in the United States. He's covering all the East Coast. And then I have Dave Chadwick over in the UK. He's handling anything in the continent. Elaine, this sandpaper works really good. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.